make sure we're in good space for the case. How are you all today? Praise and power. I don't know why I don't always remember to move my mail before I get started. It doesn't get in my way until I'm in doing what I'm doing. Praise and power all. Welcome to a moment of harmony. And it has been a thing to get us all situated this morning, to get us all here, to get the moment popping. So we are at our regularly scheduled time, at least our regularly scheduled day of Saturday. We have moved the hour back an hour just for today only. There were some earlier obligations of the day, and I did not want to completely move the moment just because I had to take care of some things. So we tried 11 o'clock, and then we had some technical difficulties. There were some thumbnail issues. It's been it's full moon energy out here in these streets. So no worries. We have made it. Thank you for your patience, your grace, your amazingness. I'm super excited to be here today for our moment of harmony. It has been a week, no? It has been a week, no? It has been a week. We had some full moon energy. We had some lunar eclipse energy. Y'all, it's been energizing. There's been a lot of energy going on this week, so I said we cannot miss a moment. We mustn't be late on a moment. We mustn't move the moment. The moment is necessary. I know it. I feel it in my bones, okay? So welcome, welcome, welcome. In a moment of harmony, we are in a series entitled Meiotic Moments, where we are going through the 42 laws of Ma'at. And oh, what a series. Oh, what a session, okay? It's been amazing. It's been one of my favorite series and sessions thus far. I'm always excited about going into the work of our ancestors, going into the material of our scholars, and finding ourselves in history, finding our future in intention of what was intent, or the way things were intended to be, the things that were important. So your girl is Aqua Gang, so I'm not super a rule follower per se, but I do believe that there's a way to do things, and I believe that there's a way we handle ourselves, and there's a way to grow. And then when I say a way, I don't mean just one linear streamlined way, but I mean that propriety. I do believe in propriety, and it's another reason why I really love this series of Meiotic Moments. So thank you again all. Thank you all again. And say that. Thank you all again for being here, for being a supporter or an engager, an exchanger of love and light with a moment of harmony. And I'm excited to get into this week number 17 Meiotic moment. I have not stolen anyone's land. Week number 17, which is today. Law number 17, I have not stolen anyone's land. So I'm just going to get a little bit comfortable because we're going to go into it. Kingdom, this is why I feel like I feel weird, because I just noticed. Hold on. There we go. Look, I'm up here. My 10-year-old uses my desk a lot. I don't know why, because he has his own space. But he likes to come in here and he moves my office chair up and down. I had not noticed. Peace, peace, peace. I had not noticed until I feel low. So here we are. We're high, and I'm in the screen. I'm all adjusting the camera when I needed to adjust my seat, okay? Perspective. So Ashe, welcome to a moment of harmony. Thank you all for being here. Thank you in the chat. The chat is jumping off already. Thank you again, all the exchangers. You are loved, and you are loved, and I am grateful. Week number 17, I have not stolen anyone's land. There's a couple of things in case you're a first timer to Meiotic Moments and you aren't super familiar with any ammunitions or any Kemetic culture, any of the Kemetic culture or anything to that degree, and you're sitting here like, well, what is she talking about today? What we're going through are laws of Ma'at, which is a spiritual practice system, ancient Kemetic spiritual practice systems, that just talk about behavior. They talk about, mindsets, ways of being and behaving and relating and being in space with one another. Really, most importantly, being in space with yourself. But they are just laws of conduct, if you will. And no matter what walk of life you come from, no matter what religious background you subscribe to, I am definitely going to be coming from my mind frame, my culture, my history. And but again, keeping in mind that our main focus is going to be the character. Who are we dictates how we are. So how we are is how we are is what we've been saying throughout the meiotic moments. How we are is how we are. So a lot of times when we want to get our lives together, when we want to be in a better position within self, we want to be in a better position just in our vision and in our manifestations. A lot of times we put a lot of emphasis on what we put in our bodies or what we consume, whether it be music or food or lectures and reading materials, but we don't always put the appropriate amount of emphasis on the core, the center of self, our character, how we've developed it, who we are today, and how we can hone it into bringing in better experiences for ourselves in this lives and better versions of ourselves for our realities. So I always use the analogy of painting a house that's falling apart. A lot of times when we go on these transformative journeys or we go on these cycles of like becoming, we are, big, quick to paint the house. Like we're quick to just be like, I'm all brand new. I don't think a certain way. I don't live a certain way. I don't believe a certain way. But your behavior dictates that you aren't quite where you say you are. And so going through meiotic moments is really helping us. Going through the 42 laws of Maya, we've been using practical tools and perspectives to be able to really say, I'm transforming from the inside out. My thoughts, my actions, my behaviors, my deeds, they become a very important part of my transformation. And we are using the 42 laws of Maya to move into that. Peace, hi, cowgirls. So big time, big time. So excuse me, I'm starting all my running my mouth and things start happening. So I have not stolen anyone's land. Now, also, a lot of times, hi and peace and thank you and welcome. The chat is amazing. Love and light to you all. A lot of times, I always say this, when we get into the 42 laws, and even when we, thank you so much. Y'all are awesome. So a lot of times when we get into the laws, again, when we look at ancient practices or ancient spiritual systems, a lot of times, the language, the intention does not necessarily, or we feel like it doesn't apply to today's way of being. But when you're talking about a spiritual practice system, you're talking about laws and rules that do not go out of style, however, can go over your head if you're not in alignment with the coding of the times. And so this is where you need different types of conduits, if you will, whether someone is, again, like I say, a prophet, a priest, a priestess, a therapist, what have you, just someone that's able to translate spiritually, kind of move you and assist you to moving where you want to be, helping things to digest and be planted inside of you in productive and conducive ways. Okay, so I have not stolen anyone's land. Again, many of us today would be like, well, how sway? We would be looking at it like, stolen anyone's land? What are we talking about? I don't take anyone's land. So we're going to break this down today in terms of our character, in terms of our behavior, in terms of our becoming, in terms of who we are, and be able to see how does this law, hundreds of thousands of years ago in place, have anything to do with the way that we treat one another today, and how does it have anything to do with how we show up in our lives, how we create spaces, how we flourish ourselves, how we blossom our realities into great and wonderful places. Okay, so as strange as it may sound, when you hear a law like I have not stolen anyone's land, and many of us have never even owned a land, stick with me. I promise we're going somewhere with it. Somewhere that all of us can sit inside of self and see where we are with it. So I'm going to start off with this. I'm going to start off with the definition of land that I have come up with, that I just have put together. Not say that like I defined land, but what I'm saying is the definition that I have just put together quickly in order for us to use it today. Okay, land, a mass of earth where one lives, cultivates, and produces. That's just A lot of times when we go into definitions, I'm putting out a definition so that we all have a main reference point to walk together, because we all have many different backgrounds, perspectives, and understandings of life and things. So sometimes as we're journeying together, we will dispart or be dispersed based on just the definitions. Definitions do disperse. So I just want us to get or definitions divide, shall I say. Definitions divide. I promise many of us are saying the same thing, wanting the same things, but the way that we're hearing and expressing things is what's causing confusion and misunderstanding. So, definitions divide. And that's why I just want to give a quick little reference point of where I'm talking about when we talk of traditionally land, but then where I'm going to move it to symbolically throughout this moment. So, traditionally land, a mass of earth where one lives, cultivates, and produces. Land, where you live, where you cultivate, where you produce. It's where you at. Okay, it's your piece of the world. A mass of earth where one lives, cultivates, and produces. Your piece of the world is going to be the reference point for land. Pretty simple, something we can all agree on for right now. Okay, now when I go into this moment, when we get into a moment of harmony, we are talking more land on the, we're talking more land in the sense of a piece of land. We're going to make it akin to a peace of mind. Okay, so metaphorically, symbolically, as we move through I have not stolen land, we're going to dance back and forth between like physical land, but also the place of self, a place of centeredness, a place of beingness, thriving within self, land, where you are, your possession. So a piece of land, we're going to make it akin to a peace of mind as we begin to work through this law. So stay with me. Okay. When we talk about a piece of land, so obviously no one should be stealing each other's land. Okay, so some of that's like a self-explanatory. If this law was written in a time when people did actually just come up on people's property and be like, my land, you can go, blah, blah, blah. That shouldn't be happening. I don't ever want to dismiss the simplicity of the laws, but I also don't want us to miss the complexity of the laws as it pertains to our growth and our development. Okay, so there we go. Piece of land in this sense, as you journey with me, a piece of land, we're going to be making it akin to a peace of mind. We're going to be talking about one's possessions, one's I am where I am. Okay, what I have, what I come here with, what I've inherited, what belongs to me. So when we talk about I have not stolen anyone's land, we again are speaking akin to I haven't stolen anyone's peace of mind. Things that belong to people, their sense of security, their sense of self, their identity, their ability to operate as or to self-govern, their ability to self-express or to create. Like, I have not come to take that from anyone. I haven't taken anyone's happiness. I haven't taken anyone's joy. So when we talk about a peace of mind, when I say I have not stolen anyone's land, the place where they live, the place where where they have put down roots within self, I have not disturbed the roots that anyone has put down within self, is what our ancestors are saying. I have not taken from anyone their place, where they stand, where they breathe, where they work, where they are within self. I have not taken it upon myself to come and take that from anyone. I have not come and taken upon myself to harm or bring discord to anyone in that regard. So peace of land akin to peace of mind. And again, we're talking about one's possessions and their I am that I am. One's I am where I am. There are so many times when, I'm not, of course, when we're talking about this, we're not necessarily talking about strangers. Sometimes we have our loved ones, our children's, our children, our mates. I didn't say children's, I meant to say children. Our children, our mates, our co-workers, our classmates, our students, I mean, whatever, whomever is connected to us deeply, there's a lot of time where we feel an entitlement to their space of being. We feel an entitlement to their place in development. And we all are to show up for one another. We are all to assist one another. But none of us are coming for a takeover of another individual. And a lot of times in our characters, we are doing that. We want to force upon ourselves. We want to force upon our thoughts. We want to force upon our way. And we're taking away that you have come in a massive, we talk about earth, a massive place of land where everyone has their own land in order for us to share the land. And again, I'm using land in akin to peace of mind. You have come where there are many minds. There are many thought systems, many thought processes, and many thought frames. You have not come to possess anyone else's thoughts. You have not come to possess anyone else's feelings. You have not come to possess anyone else's actions. You have come to share thought. You have come to grow thought, nurture thought within self, which permeates into one another. But I have not come to take the land, to take the peace, to take the possession, to take the I am of anyone else. Meaning, I am ready. I am centered. I am not ready. I am trying. I am growing. I am in this season of my life. I am in that type of season of my life. I am in this type of flow of self. I have not come to steal your land. When I come into cooperation with you, when I come into an exchange or an engagement with you, when I come into engagement and exchange with myself, I have not come to take away that which I stand on. I have not come to take away that which I believe in. I have not come to take away my roots of who I am. I'm not saying we don't transform and change within thought, but this is a voluntary. We're talking about this is something we are choosing, graduating, transitioning. This is a natural process. We're talking about growth being something that happens as it should, and not by force or enforced intrusion is what happens with a lot of us here. There's a lot of intrusion, and it is detrimental to your character to steal and take from someone else. Something that is a foundation from them, something that is solid for them, something that is home for them, something that is security for them. Our ancestors are saying, I have not stolen anyone's land. How dare you come across someone and where they are and there I am. And you take that, you discourage that, you damage that. We talked previously a number of times through a number of our meiotic moments that you cannot damage anything without first damaging self. So if you cause damage, trust, you're not going to hit anyone's car without causing damage to your car. I don't care what act of rage you are in or what types of frustrations you are in. Jumbo, Baba J, so good to see you. Or where you are, you hit something, you cause an impact on someone's life, you transform, or manipulate something when it belongs to someone else, it will change, transform, and manipulate you. That's just how it works. It's not a one-way mirror. We talked about that last time as well. So a piece of land, we're talking akin to a piece of mind. We're talking about one's possessions, what they are, what they have, what they believe in, where they're coming from, their roots. And we're talking about my I ams, where I am. Mommy Mercy. Y'all, I'm streaming live. And Dream is in here. Hi, beautiful baby. Good morning. Okay, so sorry, Mommy Mercy, Grandma Mercy with that one. She came and scooted right up in here, and I always let them know I'm going live. I got a teenager and a young adult in the house. Going live, y'all hold it down. Everybody's eating, everybody's good. I'm going live. And sure enough, Dream was like, I'm gonna hide. Okay, so I have not stolen anyone's land. Now, when we get into like, you know what, I don't go and transgress on people, or I don't impart myself on individuals. I don't choose to break down anyone's foundations or their centeredness or their coreness. I don't choose to violate. By the masses, we probably aren't in that mind state. We probably aren't in that space, and we're probably not always seeing how we are coming into someone's peace of being, someone's state of being, because people may not all be in peace. A lot of people are not in peace, which is why we're all seeking and learning and growing in such a way. So I do not always come into people's way of being, wanting them to transform, asking them, taking things from them, taking away their centeredness or their peace of mind. Many of us are either just like, we're never doing that, or we are not intentionally doing that. But our ancestors had this law for a reason. I have not stolen anyone's land. And we're talking about a declaration. We're talking about a proclamation and then a declaration. So I will not steal anyone's land at the beginning of the day when you start out on your journey of getting through your day. And then at the end of your day, before you lay yourself down, I have not stolen anyone's land. And the reason these things come into law is because they are things, right? We come very subtly into other people's spaces and places, state of being. We come very subtly. We come very consistently. We come energetically as well as physically into people's states of being, their land, where they live, where they are, who they are. We come like that on a regular basis. And a lot of times we are quite reckless. We are quite just aggressive, quite egotistical, and in this society, quite patriarchal about how we show up on someone else's land. This law is very much a law of humility and awareness in the space of one another. Humility and awareness in the space of one's self. Humility and awareness in the space of many lands making up one massive land. As Americans, I would like to say it's the whole world, because on a great deal we do, but we're particularly morally disrupt here in the States. And so I want to say, like, we are not always on top of that. It has become a norm, almost an American cultural norm, to just come into a space looking for your place. Come into a space looking for what your benefit. Come into an environment as like, oh, I am here. What is it that I want? What is it that I need out of this? Instead of being able to come in a very humble way, in a respectful way, in a learning space, right? Just being able to be in a good space of self when you enter the space of someone else. Bars, right? A lot of times we're struggling with that, and this law is very much about that. Stay up off other people's lands when you have not conquered the discipline and focus of self. Do not go and be a tyrant. Do not go and be reckless. Do not go and be immature in the spaces of creation for others or even yourself. So I have not stolen anyone's land. So let's break down stolen land, okay? I'm going to break this down in two different ways. Those that have had land stolen, all of us, and those of us that have the potential to steal other people's lands, all of us, right? Again, akin piece of land is going to be akin to peace of mind throughout this moment. So there are many of us who have had our peace of mind taken, who have had our purity or our innocence manipulated, who have had our security destroyed or taken away. Many of us have also been on the other end of, whether, again, subconsciously, energetically, or just recklessly, destroying someone else's sense of peace, destroying or taking away someone's hope or zeal, peace of mind. And we all, on all sides of it, just want to get into a better place of that type of operation. It is better for you if you get better. Life gets better when you get better. That's what I should say. Life gets better when you get better. And this is why the 42 laws of meiotic and meiotic moments are super, super duper, super duper important to growth, development, and becoming, because at the end of the day, we're all out here wanting better. But I'm charging you today with, I know you're wanting better, but are you wanting to do better? I know you're wanting better, but are you doing better? Okay? So let's get to how we can do better. So let's look at stolen land, okay? There are three ways that land can be stolen: your peace of mind, your possessions, your I am where I am. There are three ways that that can be taken from you. One is that your property, your possessions are not properly tended to. You lack the skill of self-governance. You lack a skill of self-assurance. You lack the skills for self-love and recuperation and soothing and things like that. That's one way for it to easily have self be taken for granted. Your roots and who you are to be violated. You are not properly tending to your land. Okay, that's one way to get it stolen. The other way is that your land is not protected. It's just neglected. I mean, it's just a free for all. You're barely even in your own skin. You're barely taking care of yourself. You're barely there. Okay? Great way to get your land stolen. Lastly, it is getting the land stolen, a piece of land akin to a piece of mind, through force, sabotage, or manipulation. This is things that threaten harm in order to take what is yours, or strong arming, or just flat out stealing from you. Manipulating, again, lying, gaslighting. These are ways of getting your land stolen. And we're going to go through each one of these ways, kind of what they look like on both ends and how they pertain to this law in our growth and development. So the first part, not properly tending to your land. This is yourself, where you are. One's possessions, one's I am that I am. People are coming in and being able to take your land, or you are recklessly moving upon others' land because your land or their land is not properly being tended to. Because your am that I am is not being developed on a regular basis. It is not being cultivated on a regular basis. You are not being watered, nurtured, rested. You are becoming vulnerable. I want you to think about farmers and how they actually tend land based on the seasons. And they do, I'm not a farmer, y'all. I'm not a farmer. I'm not a earth girl. I'm not an agriculturalist. You know what I'm saying? The details are in y'all, whoever knows that. These are the details. I'm talking about broadly. We know that you reap what you sow. We know that there are those that work the land. They're land workers who know seasons to plant certain things, who knows how to prepare and protect what is in the soil for seasons to come, what is best for each season. They have the skills, they have the tools, they know when they need a rake, they know when they need a scarecrow, they know when they need a plow, they know when they need, manure. Like, they know what is needed at every point in every season of the land in order to keep it from being improperly exposed. So a lot of times the earth is tilled and prepared for winter, or it is prepared for drier seasons like the summer. Certain things take place, and depending on what season is coming, this is attentiveness. This is, again, tools and resources. This is nonstop being on top of your land. And a lot of times, we are not tending to ourselves in such a way. We are not proper. We are lacking the skill of self-care. We're lacking the skill of self-development. We're lacking skills of self-accountability, self-growth, and self-greatness. We really, and what happens if a farmer or an agriculturalist does not tend to the soil as needed when needed, then this soil, this land, can have been improperly exposed to harsh conditions, right? So it snows and the land has not been proper. You're trying to grow a summer fruit when it snows. You will not reap a harvest. You will have dead crops. You will have wasted effort, okay? Because you have not properly tended to the land in preparation of its exposures. And then when the climates get harsh, or when things get real, the land dies. The land is compromised. Someone, if you are not taking care of self, can easily come in and take what it is that is not being taken care of. Because listen, if you are dry, if you are dying, and you are destitute, guess what that puts you in? Another D frame, desperate. Okay? If you are dying and drying and destitute, you become easily desperate. And when you are desperate, that's a quick way to get right on tricked up out of your position. That's a quick way to get played out of what can happen. If someone comes upon you and sees that you don't know what you're doing with yourself, you don't know how to use your words, you don't know how to use your community, you don't know how to use your brotherhoods and your sisterhoods or your families, you're isolated, you're disconnected, you are dry, destitute, and desperate. It's an easy way to get taken over. It's an easy way to get taken back by something or someone that seems to know you better than you know yourself. We have seen number of times, nannies or I would say nanny came to mind first, but there are a number of professions where someone may not know what they're doing and they call in an expert. And the next thing, the expert is not only teaching, which is what they should be doing, but the expert is doing, right? This expert is not showing you and assisting, but this expert is like raising your kids, or this expert is maintaining your health. And then you create this dependency on this expert because you were never an expert. You did not learn appropriately. You did not take the proper measures to create skills for yourself to make yourself stronger. So now you're dependent on an expert and your land has been stolen. Okay? And many times that happens to us when it comes to, this is why America is so expert driven, right? The experts say, the doctors, leading psychologists, pediatricians, and number one doctor recommended, it's because we are lost. Our lands. We have lost the ability to govern. We don't even know what to do for a sore throat, or we don't know what to do for insomnia. We have lost the skill set of self. And therefore we are easily stolen. We're easily lost. We're easily manipulated and played out of position because we have not properly tended. We have not cultivated the skill sets of self. We are not intentional about that. So land does get stolen. The second one, how land gets stolen, right? Your land is not protected. Okay, so let's say you have the skills, right? You are moving, you're tilling when needed, you're manuring when needed, you are excavating or moving, whatever is needed. Y'all know what it is, people that are agriculturalists. You're doing everything that's necessary to move the season, to keep things as they should be, but you aren't covering yourself. Right? You aren't covering yourself. This is a big one for woke folk. Okay? This is a big one for us woke folk. We definitely think because we done figured something out, we have arrived. We think that because we have absorbed, understood, comprehended, switched up and changed something, transformed a little bit, that we are just untouchable. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got it together now. I once was lost, but now I'm found. And we will go out there, but then how are you protecting self? How are you protecting your possessions, even newly found? How are you protecting your possessions? And how are you protecting your I am where I am? We don't. We just get so cocky off, I got it, it's good. So I've reaped a harvest. It is a full and bountiful harvest. I have tilled successfully. I have harvested successfully. But I have not, there's no fence, right? I don't have any fence around my land. So listen, I am not preaching, I'm sharing, right? Everything and everyone has access to me still. So I have grown myself. I am developing myself. I am creating within myself a resource for myself and others, but I have not properly protected myself. That means boundaries. I have not put things up around myself to keep what I have grown safe. So first, I didn't know what I was doing. I wasn't even growing nothing. Anybody could come and grow something if they wanted to, right? That's a lot of us go through that in our adolescence. Then we get some wisdom and some information, and we grow a little bit, and we have not properly protected. Now you have something that people want. Now you've produced things that people need. Now you are bountiful and fruitful, but not protected. You don't have a scarecrow up. You're just a big old garden, right? A garden to the starving. That's what I've called myself before. You just a garden to the starving. It's a good way to get your land stolen. It's a good way to get ran right on over, trampled down, beat down, broke down, and drained on out. Not being protected, neglecting the protection of your land. Right? I have not, sometimes it's not about how do I fix things if it gets broken. Sometimes it's about how do I prevent brokenness? How do I keep how do I minimize damage control, the inevitable, and how do I keep the unnecessary from happening? It's not necessary that I fall all the time or reach rock bottom to move forward. It is not always necessary that I am fully depleted before I understand the value of a boundary. It's not necessary that I am attacked before I realize what I have is precious. Somebody gonna try to take it, and I should probably keep it safe. How many of us have a ring camera, a blink camera, a security system? And a lot of you have it and you've never been broken in. You've never had a home invasion. But you found it somewhere within your land, within your possessions, within your I am where I am, my sense of self, to understand that there's a good enough stuff in this house. I'm not even talking about the TVs and the laptops. But there's good enough things in this house for me to go ahead and put up protective measures without anything have ever even gone wrong. But a lot of times with the sense of self, we are not vigilant. We don't take the proper provisions. We are not proactive over our gifts, over our talents, over our gains. And therefore you have a land that is bountiful, fruitful, producing, and not protected. You definitely setting yourself up for a good little land stealing, a land thief. You for predators. You know, a wolf walking by your garden and saying, dang, she ain't got no electrical fence. She don't have no regular fence. There's no scarecrow. It ain't even a dog tied up on the porch. But I'm seeing all of the carrots and cabbage and potatoes and radishes. This is how we get our land stolen. People walk past you as an individual of promise, of light, of potential. And not everybody is coming in as an admirer. Not everyone is coming into your garden as a visitor. There are many coming in as predators, and it's saying we should not approach anyone's garden ever as a predator with our hands out begging. It say, I have not stolen anyone's land. We should not come onto anyone's space entitled to their goods. Slobbering and salivating at their greatness. We should come in as humble visitors, appreciators, as a landowner myself. Right? Many of us have moved onto blocks, and the first thing we do when we live on a block or we go to rent or buy a home on a block is how many homeowners are on the block. This is an indicator to us of the investment and the care of the neighborhood, because there are people who have to live here just like me, long times, and they've made the investment. That's why we want to know how many homeowners are on your block. We want to know who has invested in themselves, because people that invest in themselves approach other people's investments accordingly. We're afraid to live next to people next door to people who are nomadic in nature or temporary or in transience, right? Because you can do whatever you want. You don't have anything tied to where you are. How are you protecting your land from those passerbys who don't have anything tied to where they are? They have no investments in the land next to you, and you have no protection on the land that they're next to. I'll wait. We're doing it all the time, right? And it's a good old way to get your land stolen. Thirdly, we said force, sabotage, or manipulation, threatening harm to take what's yours, strong arming or stealing your land. Well, what does that look like in the real world? Okay, that looks like doing things you don't want to do or didn't sign up to do or don't feel comfortable doing at work so that you don't lose your job. Okay, that's force, sabotage, manipulation. Right? That's the stealing of your possessions. Your I am that I am. I am where I am. I have a right to my space. I have a right to my desires. I have a right to my manifestations. I have a right to grow and to become my greater and better selves. But I'm going to allow someone to take my security or my stability or my peace or my freedom. I'm going to be constrained, restrained, so that you don't take or do something to me harmfully. Good way to get stolen. Okay, it's a good way to get your stuff stolen, right? Or I'm in a relationship that I'm not happy in and I don't want to be with the person I'm with. I don't feel respected, valued, loved. However, this person may hurt me if I'm not here. This person may take me to court and take your children, or this person may, you feel some type of force, and you are forced, or the force causes you to relinquish your possessions and your I am that I ams under the guise or the fear of harm, right? Terror, disembodiment, disenfranchisement. You may be something that just, you might not be taking care of yourself. Someone may be taking care of you financially, emotionally. You may not feel well, but someone has threatened, like, if you don't do this, fine then. You can leave, but you gonna get them kids up, or you can, change majors if you want to. Change your you change your major or your school direction, your career goal. You can change it if you want to, but I won't support you. I won't be there for you. I'm not going to do these. This is a force. This is a threat of harm on you to take something that belongs to you, whether that taking of something is a choice, whether that taking of something is time. Hello. I've been there, done that. Whether that taking of something is your dreams or your hopes. I once believed in love, or I once believed in this career or this drive that I have. I used to have a great connection to money or dance or theater, or I saw life away. And then someone came in aggressively, selfishly, savagely, and took that life away. Took that vision away. Okay? So somebody being able to come in and absolutely play you out your position in the forceful of ways. That's happened literally to our ancestors. That's happened literally to Native Americans. It's all over the world. It's happened literally. Strong arm of land, manipulation, murder, of the thievery, all the forms of thievery of land. But we're talking again, yes, literally, but also figuratively, on the spiritual sense, the land of self, right? The piece of land akin to the piece of mind, and people being able to come in and say, like, well, if you do this, I'm not going to talk to you no more, or you're going to be on the out, so we're not going to protect you. We ain't going to be there for you if you don't do X, Y, and Z. Taking of your land. Okay. When it comes to that version, So we know that when it comes to the skill set, develop your skills. Know how to work and grow and improve yourself so that you do not become desperate and become a prey to someone who becomes an expert over your life. Okay, we know that with the skill. Protection. Put up a guard dog, child, a guard dog, a fence, or a scarecrow. Do not just be having your goods out here in the world. People want goods. People are not working for goods. People would love to come and just take what is good about you. Protect what's good about you. Okay, protect what's great about you. Protect what's great about your life. Hold it there. Hold it close. Here's the third one though. So those are a little bit more simple. If you're not protecting your land, protected. If you are not tilling it or appropriately tending to it, tend to yourself. This sabotage, manipulation, force, and aggression one though is a special one, right? Because most people are getting things taken from them in this realm out of fear, out of paralysis, anxiety. They feel like they're choosing the lesser of two evils. They feel like I got a chokehold, what I call a ransom. And I have been there. Oh my gosh, a time or two where you're just like, it's for the kids and then it's for the community. And then you get to a moment where you're like, you know what? Pull the trigger. You better pull the trigger because I'd rather die standing than living on my knees. And sometimes that becomes one component because at the end of the day, I can't live this way. I can't live with you taking from me what I need the most. Camping out. I just walk on my land. You just camped out, living. You done created a society. Got your Starbucks in your gym on my space, on my peace. You just stomping all over what it is that I have built and what it is that I need. And I don't matter in my own land. The biggest way to protect yourself, your land, from this type of invasion, from this type of thievery, is to keep yourself in a powerful position of self. Many of us, there are many individuals who have addictions, promiscuity, drugs, alcohol, pills, food, you name it, things that move them away from the reality of their day. Those things are a weakening of you over the institution of self. I'm sorry, there was something on the camera. Those things are a weakening of you over the institution of self. When you are not constantly putting yourself in a position of power over self, mind you, I'm saying over self. Let me please tell you, you cannot be in power over. This is why a king that rules a kingdom has many individuals to a royal court. Because you cannot rule yourself and everything and everyone else. So there's a lot of times when it comes to the mastering and the power of self, we want to project, we want to inflict, we want to, vicariously operate in life in positions of power. It's fake, it's phony, it's getting you nowhere. Okay? Whole time, the more you're trying to exert power over your home, power over your work, power over you're exerting it instead of exuding it. This is the word I'm using. Every time you try to exert power, you take it away from yourself. And 9 times out of 10, you're doing that because you don't already have it within yourself, haven't recognized it in yourself, don't see it, don't use it from self, and you can't really see your power until you put it out on someone else. Anytime you exert instead of exude, you are hustling backwards and you are playing yourself out of position. So me and my sister, we talked recently about the Diddy fiasco. We talked about, people like Epstein and R. Kelly. We talked about all of this stuff, right? And we talked about not so much. We talked about a lot of things, but specifically for this, we talked about people that are robbed of their innocence young, people that are robbed of their purity young, robbed of power at a young age, meaning being overpowered, being violated, being manipulated young, and how they go out and become aggressors in search of what it is that was taken from them. Right? So they go out and they feel like if they break people, they can get out of them what was taken from them when they were broken. And it doesn't work, right? Because the only way up is through light. You only way up is up. You can't keep going down in order to get up. But people keep going down, right? They're in a low vibration trying to get back up into a high vibration, trying to get back to that sense of peace when they were a child before it was taken, get back to that sense of peace when they were, before they were, the world was shown to them its monstrous ways. And they keep trying to go down, 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 and they're just going through people, just breaking people, breaking people, breaking, because they want that power back. They're moving in the direction, but they want the power back. And the more people they break, the less they seem fulfilled, and the nastier they get, the angrier they get, the more monstrous they get, because they're looking. See, it appears on the outside, it's active. People say that about rape all the time. It's an active power. Yes, not in the sense that someone is exuding a power over you, but more that someone is exerting. They don't have it and they're trying to give somewhat of what they do have, which is aggression or physical force, to get something from you. They want to take your peace because they don't have peace. You get what I'm saying? This is why when we have things that matter to us, I'm not talking about material possession only. I'm not even talking about it primarily. This is why yourself, your land, your possession, your I am that I am, you must never be in a position where you can be played out of your power. And the only way to not be played out of power is to never be operating outside of your power. Period. Your power for us. Now, everyone has individual. That thing is broken down into your own mission and purpose. But I'm talking about grandly. You have, as a woman, you have a power of nurturing. You have a power of instinct. You have a power of healing, of support, of life-giving. Operate outside of that and see, won't you get played up out of your position? Operate in desperation. Operate in fear. Operate in insecurity. Played out of your position. Men, again, it breaks down individually for the individual. Don't take this as the whole definition of everyone, but I'm saying generally, they have a power of strength, a power of discernment, a power of protection, a power of capability and ability, right? Now operate on the outside of that. See, won't you get played? Operate in lack and less than. Operate in criminality. Operate in violence or operate in fear. Operate in ego. And see, won't you be really easily played out of your position? Because you again are operating out of your power. Right? You know better. You feel better. You think better. You can create better, but you're doing less than that. And you're operating, peace, Mama Z. You're operating outside of the power, which puts you in a real good position to get played out of your position. So when it comes to that latter of the three, which is the force, the sabotage, manipulation, that comes when you can get played out of your own power. Again, you are exerting power over things instead of exuding power over things, with things, in things. This is why when it comes to the land, we don't play where we lay. Okay? We do not play where we lay. And this doesn't have anything necessarily to do with like intimacy or adult things. This is more so where I am, my land. I am where I am, and I don't play about where I am. You get a lot of people that's like, oh, you so serious, about being a vegetarian or a vegan, or you so serious about who comes around your house or around your children. Girl, she's so serious that, no, my children can't watch that, or my children can't read that, or I don't go there. I'm not being where, I have graduated into places like that. If it does not serve me, I do not show up. I'm not going to be there. I'm not about to sit and pretend, act like I care about things I don't. It plays me out of position because there is power in my authenticity. There is power in my self-awareness. And I don't play about where I am right now. We have to have determination and seriousness over things that matter. This is how we get away from succumbing to the force, the stealing of the force, the sabotage, the manipulation, the threatening of harm to get what you want from me. See, if you understand that I'm in my power, you're going to try me a lot less. Because here's the thing, I'm not ever coming off this seat to battle you. When I stay in my power, it forces you to have to come here and deal with me to take something from me. So being able to avoid these types of manipulations, being able to avoid these types of, ultimatums and, compromises of self, it comes from being able to say, hey, I don't play about me. Okay, I don't play about me. I don't play about these children. I don't play about my peace. Let me tell y'all, listen, Linda. I have gotten more serious about my peace than I probably have in my whole life. In a couple of months, I'll be 39, child, and I said 40 is not even going to be ready for me because I'm already over it. Okay, I'm already over. I don't even compromise. I don't play with the peace. There's no compromise. Me and you not about to sit and walk around and play a game of chess around my peace. Now, we can be cohesive and we can work together, but I don't play about this one here. Okay, y'all heard that TikTok? I don't play about this one here. No more. I don't play with me. And it's because I'm not going to let you play with me. Right? I don't play about me because I'm not going to let you play about me. And the moment you see me leave my place of power, you may think power for me is up for grabs. Power over me is up for grabs. Power over my thoughts. Power over my time. Power over my ambitions. Power over my drive. Power over my children. Power over my heart, my life, my thought. Soon as you see me leave my place of power, you're going to think it's up for grabs. And then that's when you come with the guns drawn about what I better do, about what I need to do, about what's going to happen to me if I don't do for you. That's why I don't play about it. I don't play where you lay. When it comes to your land and it comes to those predators that are coming in after your sense of self and safety, when it comes to your ancestors say, I have not stolen anyone's land. I did not come and transgress upon a person, a single person. And in that, I have also not allowed transgression upon mine. I am serious and I am determined over the things that matter. Yes, what I eat is very serious to me. My routines, very serious to me. My ideals, very serious to me. My standards, very serious to me. And it's not about being bougie and it's not about being difficult. It's about being in a sense of power so that I can exude power, because I can't exude anything I don't have. So that I am not caught like a fool trying to exert my power over my child, exert my power over my job, over my spouse, over a circumstance, sitting up in here going crazy trying to make you believe I'm worthy, make you believe I'm good enough, strong enough, great enough, there enough, when I can just sit here and be worthy, sit here and be good enough, be great enough. And I can only get played about that position if I remove myself from my place of power, which is my land. People can come and strong arm your land when you aren't tending to it, when you are not protecting it, and when you have not guarded it in a way of power. You have no power over it. Somebody can take something you don't have no power over, child. This is why predators go after children a great deal. Because if you don't have any power over it, this is candy from a baby. That's literally where the saying comes. Candy from a baby. This is easy. I'm taking something needed from someone because they don't got no power over that. She don't have no power over herself. You can tell her anything. You can make her do anything. She's going to compromise. She's going to people please. She's going to try too hard. She's going to overwork, bend over backwards. She's going to overachieve, child. Just, she ain't got no power. So I'm going to take it. Not over here. Not over here. There is intentionality around self. There's intentionality and determination and seriousness around what matters to me. Okay, so when it comes to this affirmation, we're going to get ready to get up out of here because we're moving over. Not affirmation, I didn't mean to say that. This law of my, the 17th law, I have not stolen anyone's land. We have been working with a piece of land and akin with a piece of mind. We're talking about stealing land, what it actually means, looks like on all sides of it. And lastly, we're going to talk about the law itself, right? So we talked about stealing of the land. Don't steal it. Don't take anyone's land, and don't let anyone take your land, right? We went through that. But how? Let's also talk about the how we can honor a law like I have not stolen anyone's land. How can we be more intentional? How can we be more divine? How can we be more cohesive in this land of lands, right? In this life of thoughts, in this life of spirits and souls? How can we be a more neighborly spirit, okay? How we can do this is by learning the lay of the land. So lay of the land is a term used for like knowing where things are, being familiar with the land, familiarizing yourself and not being in foreign land, right? The lay of the land. So learn the lay of the land. When you come into someone's life or when someone comes into your life, your land, make sure that they are learning the lay, your ins and outs, your do's and don'ts, your wills and wants, and familiarize yourself with that going into other people's, because the law is specifically saying I haven't stolen anyone's land, so just protect your land. But this is a law of accountability. Our ancestors say stop stealing people's stuff. Right? Stop going and taking people's joy, messing up people's days, backstabbing people, backsliding, being difficult, being irritating, being annoying. Stop being a thief of peace in the space of others. Stop being a thief of peace in the space of others. And again, I don't think it's always intentional. We live in a super dysfunctional, backwards, dog-eat-dog society that has raised you from preschool on up to take care of self. Can't beat them, join them. I mean, just all of the backwardsness. So sometimes we got to be like, okay, well, I don't want to take nobody's joy. I don't want to transgress upon anyone. How can I be more cognizant, more of a divine neighbor, if you will? Here we go. Learn the lay of the land, okay? First part of learning the lay of the land as it pertains to other individuals is respect fences and borders, right? You walk up on somebody's land and they got a fence up. Don't try nobody's fence. Respect boundaries. If people say, I don't do this, I don't like this, I didn't invite you to do, respect people's boundaries. When someone up front says, hey, this is, when it comes to dating, this is what I'm looking for. That's not what you're looking for. See that fence? Honor that fence. Go on about your business. Because I promise you, if you don't, You're about to go up and steal somebody's land, okay? Steal something off somebody's piece that you shouldn't be. If you are in a relationship and they're saying, you know what, I used to do this, but I've grown to a point where I don't want to do this anymore. Respect it. Well, me, I remember when, well, now all of a sudden, you go to this church, and now you took this class, and now you can't, you about to take this, you about to steal somebody's piece. You about to transgress on somebody's I am that I am. Respect the fences and the borders. Boundaries are not an invitation to confrontation. Boundaries are not negotiable. They're not up for grabs, and they're not an insult to you. Boundaries are protection and a right to an individual. Well, what do you mean I can't? Well, who do you think you are? Who does she think she is? And why do they? Because they put up a boundary means that someone thinks they have something worth protecting, and they would like you to respect that. Ancestor said it now. Don't go stealing nobody's land, child. If they got a fence, it belongs to somebody. If they have a guard dog or a scarecrow, something is special to them. Respect that. Respect fences and borders. Some boundaries are there for a reason. Learn the lay of the land for you just start trying to Christopher Columbus your way through life, okay? Barter goods. That's the second one. When it comes to learning the lay of the land, barter goods. You can't steal from somebody that you have something to offer to. Meaning, reciprocation. There's no, fair exchange is no robbery, okay? So you can't steal anyone's land if you have something to offer just as they have something to offer. But learn what they have to offer. You going up thinking somebody needs something from you. You thinking that you God's gift to the world. Humble yourself and learn the exchange of life. Learn the exchange of love. Learn the exchange of peace. There's an exchange that happens that keeps things from being unfair, imbalanced, and robbery. So when it comes to like us being able, so let's talk about, okay, bartering. If I come to so when we talk about our land, everybody has their own purpose. Everybody has their own mission. Everybody is growing something different. Everybody is growing something differently. I may be, again, my purpose is healing and educating. Someone else may have a purpose of, they may have some more grounded qualities, organizing and they may have some creative, whatever the quality is. Instead of me just coming up saying, oh, you know what, I would like to be more grounded. I would like to be more, a lot of times I'm in the air realm, aqua game. What is it? Man King got aqua game. I'm in the air realm. Sometimes I want to be grounded. Sometimes I want to be like, what's going on in the physical? Hey, physical people, what's happening down here? Right? As far as operating in the mind and in the self, that's what I mean. Sometimes I want to operate in self. I'm always, let me be in the physical, in the real world. Instead of coming up and just taking what it is that you have that I need, and just feeling entitled to what you have. Oh, you know what? I need that. How can I get that off you? Come in with the mind of exchange. Do not ever approach anyone, any circumstance, any situation without a mindset of reciprocity and exchange. Now, not transaction, okay? That's why I said barter and not sell, okay? We're not buying people. We're not marketing to people. We're not manipulating people. That's very Euro patriarchal. We don't want that. Not when it comes to this law of I have not stolen people's land. We're saying fair exchange. I am coming in to see what it is that you are such a beautiful person. You are such an amazing energy. You have a potential about you, and I like you, okay? And instead of me coming on to get, stealing from land, I have come to barter goods. Mind you, I said barter goods, child. I didn't say barter anything. Because some people just want to give the bare minimum. I want your body, I want your mind, I want your time, but I ain't about to give too much for it. I said barter goods. Now that's stealing at that point. right? It's not a fair exchange, and you are stealing from someone's land. Barter goods. Barter goods. This is what's great about me. I would like to offer what's great about me to have access, mind you, not get, because we're not stealing, to not take, to not have. This is our perception, our perspective shift in alignment with the law. The 17th law of the 42. I am willing to offer what's great about me for access of what's great about you. This is how you learn the lay of that land. This is how you keep yourself from being an aggressor onto someone else's life, okay? I want to barter goods. I am in not any point showing up to get, to grab, to have, to take. I am showing up to create and reciprocate. A bridge, an understanding, an exchange. Barter goods. Coming up there with your hand out and your bag open. Stealing. Stealing land. Taking peace. Taking plans. Don't do it. Okay? As I said, I have not stolen land. I've been a good patron to the land that I've been on. And here's the last one. This is my favorite one. And we're going to get about this long moment. Thank y'all for thugging it out. The chat is still going. Love y'all. My favorite one in this, I have not stolen anyone's land. You are a visitor. Be a visitor. You are a visitor. Be a visitor. In someone's possessions, what they own, what they've created, what they've grown, what they've developed, long before they met you, okay? Or long before, because, you know, some of us have to have those boundaries up with parents as well, and they've known us longer than anybody else. But long before I came into life, I was a spirit, and I've been developing my mission and my purpose and myself all along. So there's a lot of people that feel like they are entitled to this land is my land. This land is your land. Okay? You are a visitor. Everyone and everything, Ashe, everyone and everything is a visitor in your space. Okay? And if we approach others like that, if we approach every circumstance, I don't care if you're married to them, if you gave birth to them, if you're their best friend, you are a visitor in the life. And that's a good mindset to keep, because it reminds you that one, this person is a privilege. It is a privilege to marry a wonderful person. It is a blessing to have beautiful, healthy children that you can be a part of their lives. It is a blessing to have a sisterhood or a brotherhood. These are gifts to have, cohorts and co-workers and, collaborations. You are a visitor. Coming up in here, kicking off your feet, and do not be a thief of people's peace. Don't be a thief of peace. Coming in here, imposing yourself, aggressing yourself, transgressing. Don't be a thief of peace. When you are in the space of others, think about how visitors act. You know how people are like, girl, don't ask me, can you get down off the floor? You're not a visitor. Take your coat off. You visiting? When visitors are always cognizant of the fact that they're in someone else's space. And what I'm asking is that we're always cognizant of the fact that you are in someone else's peace. If you come upon me and sit with me with my smile and my grace and my purpose, you are privy to my peace as I am privy to yours. We are now in space of each other's peace. A visitor is always mindful that they're in someone else's space. This law is asking us to always be mindful that we're in someone else's peace. You up in somebody's peace. You up in their peace of mind. You up in their state of being. You're up in their possessions and their I am that I am. And act accordingly. Again, I don't care if they share your last name or your blood type. You are a visitor in others' peace. Act accordingly. When you go to work, when someone is in your space, you are visiting. When you come in here with your demands and your commands, when you come in here with your entitlement and your disrespect, you are a thief of peace. Okay? And you have come in inappropriately and unnecessarily stealing my land. Planting your flag on what I'm going to do with my time, my space, my energy. Our ancestors said, I am not. I have not stolen anyone's land. As I have moved through this day, even if I gave birth to a person, I have considered them and where they are. I have considered their I am that I am. I have honored their possessions of solitude, of self. I can't tell you how many times I'm like, are you going to wear that? You want to do that? I like this. Well, who am I? Well, who am I to come and intrude in your peace? If you're well and you're good, that's all the Creator asks me to do as a mama. Are you well? Are you good? Okay, you know God? Good. Go on. Wear the crocodile rain boots. Godspeed, you know? Because I have not stolen anyone's land. It's not for me to put my flag on you. It is for me to wave my flag so you know where I am, who I am, and that I am. But that's as far as my flag goes. Right here on the land of self. Right here on the land of self. Tay! Peace! Right here on the land of self. That's it. I went out. Sorry, y'all. I got a call. And y'all know how it happens when the calls come in. Hopefully, I'm going to give it a second and see if I'm back in business. Oh, the call came in because I am further over than I would normally be. But I'm not going to stay all the way in there. I'm just saying, listen, you're a visitor. When you're in people's space, you're visiting their peace. Act accordingly. Do not go out there causing harm and be a thief of peace. I have not stolen anyone's land. I am not a thief of peace. Where you are is where you are. Where I am is where I am. I appreciate, honor, and respect, and I expect the same over on these parts. And then I put up and I protect. I protect, I tend, and I protect to my land. You tend and protect your land, and we are going to live harmoniously. All right? So, I have not stolen anyone's land. I have not been a thief of peace. I appreciate y'all for joining me for this Meiotic moment today. I cannot wait to have another moment with you next week. Same place, same space. I love you all. Listen, take really good. There was a lot of full moon energy this week. Take really, really, really good care of yourself. And go on out your way, okay, to take really good care of someone else. I love you all so much. Have a wonderful week, and I will see you again for another moment of harmony.